Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your purchase of your Jayco Whitehawk 29 BH travel trailer. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. So let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things taken into consideration when parking. On your campsite, of course, your awning. You need plenty of room for that to come out. And on your off campsite, a couple things. First and foremost, your slide. You've plenty of room for that to come in and out unhindered, preferably nothing hanging over top of it. Also leave yourself a nice walking path next to that slide, because the next thing I need you to think about is where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power all the way on the rear corner on your driver's side of your tow vehicle, your off camp side of your camper, and your city water connection will be just ahead of that. That's where we'll plug in at campsites. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook your hitch, here's your hitch work. First thing we're gonna do is level your unit. Your unit comes with a power tongue jack. It's a night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply raise or lower the unit until you're level. I do recommend getting a stick-on level. With your slide closed, find the middle of your unit, put that stick-on level there, and have someone watch that while you bring that up and down. Now, should you lose power, underneath this rubber stopper right here is a manual override for that hand crank. So you can get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts when you arrive. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose. Once we get our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. You have power stabilizing jacks. Just going to show you real quickly. Over on your opposite side, you do have a manual override that you can bring these jacks down because you don't have power there. So in order to bring your stabilizing jacks down, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris, hot blacktop in the summer. Step into your unit here and come up here to your control panel. So on your control panel, let me start by telling you that there's a BM Pro app, Jayco Command App, that you can put on your phone, and you can do most of this from your phone. So this button will go through, this will go select. So for example, right now we're on the motors. There's our heat and AC. Let me go ahead and shut this AC off so you can hear me a little better. Oh, we gotta come here to select. I'm gonna shut that off. There's your AC shutting off. So let's go back to our motors. We're going to go down to front stabilizing jacks, and we're going to hit extend. Now again, as these feet come down, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Use your 10% off coupon, grab a 4-pack of those and put them underneath your stabilizing jacks. We're going to have someone out there watching this, because our unit's already level. All we want to do is stabilize it. So you don't want these to go past taunt. Right now they're down tight. Felt the unit start to lift, so I stopped. It's better if you have someone watching it. Saw the front ones down. I'm gonna run these back ones down just a little bit so you can see that. Select rear, hit extend. I want you to see them coming down. And that'll be those ones. So run it down the front and the rear. I'm going to retract them here real quick. Run them down the front and the rear. Get our unit level and stable. Select back, go back to our front ones and retract those ones real quick. Normally we would do this when we're leaving. For video time's sake, I want to make sure that they're up. So once we got our unit level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. Again, coming around to the rear of your unit on your off-camp side, big long 30 amp cord. At the end of that 30 amp cord, should you need it, is a 30 to 110 adapter so you can plug in at home. That's power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. Now campsites will hook up to your city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator that comes in your convenience pack will reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different parks, so always use this when putting city water in or your black tank flush. So hook that on there, hook up your hose, but don't turn our hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. So over here on your campsite, in between your two doors, is going to be your hot water heater. All we're doing at this point, folks, is making sure our drain plug's back in. Get that on there nice and snug. Once that's on there snug, you can go ahead and turn on your hose. Now our unit's level and stable, so you can go inside and deploy the slide if you need. But you need to get to your water taps. Open up your water taps, let the air out of the lines. Once the air is out of the lines, you can shut them off, and then you can turn on your hot water heater from indoors. I'll show you how to do that here in a little bit. Now let's say we're gonna go camping and we're not gonna hook up at a campsite. We're gonna go boondocking, as they call it. Well, in that case, we're just gonna fill up our fresh water or potable water tank. That is just ahead of this, right here. No need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply fill it up with a hose. Two ways to tell when it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here, or two on the inside where you check the level of your battery and black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Once that's full, go ahead and put your tap back on there. Remove your hose, and then you'll turn on your water pump when you want to utilize this water. Don't turn on your water pump when using city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we got power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the outside unit. Starting up here in the front with your pass-through storage. As you see, you have the new J port. This big metal piece and this metal piece will set on top of that. That'll give you this quick connect LP that you can bring back here by your outdoor kitchen. Slide your metal piece in there, and that'll give you a table out here for a grill with a quick connect LP right there. Continuing from here in the front, you have this blue spray port hose. You also have your ladder inside, or excuse me, a table inside here. Simply unsnap that and pull that table out. Outdoor lighting, your docking lights. This will be these blue ones, bright ones here. 110 tire pressure monitor. Continue down your campsite, your entryway into your bedroom. Got a couple of 110s and a cable outlet out here if you want to set a TV out here. Again, your fresh water. That is a flue for your furnace. If you run your furnace, steer clear of that and make sure nothing's blocking it. It will get hot. Access to the back of your fridge. A couple of outdoor speakers. Access to a vent for your microwave. Again, your hot water heater. Spot for your J port in your outdoor kitchen here. That's a lighting here. Sink. Be sure when you travel to lock this up. Take your deadbolt key. Come around to your awning. Just want to mention, if your picnic table's down there, starts to rain, instead of letting all the water run off the end, pull down on this pitch adjust, and that's going to send all the rainwater this way. Back of your unit, you got a ladder. Utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year and check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed. Maintain the lifetime of this roof is going to maintain the lifetime of your trailer. You're also prepped for a Furion backup camera. Device you purchased from our store that sits on the dash of your tow vehicle, electronically communicating with this device, giving you a backup camera for the unit. We're going to have our low point drain here for campsites. This here's your spare tire with a cover. Back here's where you plug your cable in at the campsite. Again, your power. Down here is where we'll dump our black and gray holding tanks. City water connect, black tank flush. We'll talk about that when leaving the campsite. And a hot and cold water shower. Some storage inside of your slide here. Your low point drain for your fresh water or potable water. All of your hitch work. This is your battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come in important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide propane detector inside. And a little lighting. On the front, your battery. Again, check the posts, make sure those haven't wiggled loose. You're also prepped for a solar panel. You can plug in a solar panel right there and that'll trickle charge your batteries. The propane does come with a regulator. Point it toward the tank you wish to be using, lefty-loosey to open. Also a cover for the propane. That about covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look inside your unit. The first thing I like to point out in every unit is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone who's camped with you knows that the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Continuing down here real quick, your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mention this is 12 volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you are out boondocking, nothing plugged in charging your battery, use that battery disconnect up on your tongue to keep this from running, or in your storage there, to keep this from running your battery down while you're gone. 110 with GFCI reset. And then coming up here to your control panel. So our lighting here on rockers, security light for outdoor and awning light. Coming down here, I want to mention over here, you can turn on your water heater here or fireplace. Now to our Jayco Command. Again, motors, AC and heat. This is where you can pair your device to it. As you can see, your black, gray, and fresh tanks. As we can turn on your water pump, your water heater, and your gas. Your water heater hooked up to electric, water heater hooked up to gas. So here I'm going to select, and we're going to go up to that awning. Again, extend. You only want to run that out just until you can see that brown bar. And your flap is down to 90 degrees, you know you're out far enough. As you see that, we'll roll up past that and roll itself in backwards. So keep an eye on it as you run it out. Make sure you don't run out too far. Go ahead and run that back in for you. Awning light working. And as we come back in here, we will continue the tour. We call these slam locks. You don't have to slam them too hard, but a little slam does close them. Continue around into your kitchen area. Individual lighting here. Pop-up power tower. 110s and USBs. Press that red button to get it back down. Excuse me. Your self-explanatory microwave. A fan and a light above your stove. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Turn on your panel light. You notice when you turn it to light, it goes from blue to red. Hit your spark and there's your flame. Same thing on your oven. Just turn this to light. Hit your spark down here and then set it to the desired temperature. No need for a pilot light anymore. Rock that down to become an oven light. Your fridge over here, down below that, it's going to be access panel to your breaker box and fuses. Quite a few 15s in there, a couple 25s. Highly recommend having some of them with you when you go camping. Coming over here to our south entertainment center. Turn your TV on. While that's coming on, there's your television working. Below that, they have more remotes here for all these devices here. Your sound system, Bluetooth, AM, FM, DVD, CD player. You can run your TV sound through here. Quite a few options. Really nice sound system from IRV Technologies. Down below that, your fireplace. Not just for looks anymore. I can go through and show you all the pretty colors, but the biggest thing, folks, is the heat. There's a heat device on here. Turn that on if it's chilly in the morning or evenings, and instead of using up your gas, use their heat to warm it up in here. You also have a remote that you can go outside and do those stabilizing jacks with. I'll show you that working before we leave. You don't have to have someone watch them. You can actually be out there running them in. Back here in your bedroom, got some lighting, a couple USBs, storage underneath the bed. The prep for a TV back here. Here's a backer bracket, cable in 110, a hand crank open, power exhaust vent here, and your exit doorway with your big closet. This is a template for where it's wired for solar. Keep that on there in case you ever wire the complete thing for solar. This is for the techs to know where all the wiring's at. For travel, make sure that this bedroom door is snapped back with this bungee to hold that to keep it from bouncing all around on you. Recliners, simply lift up on the handle here. Push them back down by hand. A couple of 110s there. Individual one-touch lighting. Oops, excuse me, here's lighting for that. You can one-touch it to shut it off. Your table here. I'll show you how that lifts up off there. If we lift that up off and lift this up, then set your table down on these here. Return that. Set that back in there. Just one-handed here. Slide your tabletop back on. Lighting for that's all over here. In your bathroom, another door to secure. Shower door, make sure that is nice and tight. All your lighting, power fan. And lastly, your bunk area. You have storage underneath here. Pick this up and store things underneath there. Tie downs in there as well. That about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. So I like to come here, hit my living room lights. That's going to shut off all of our main lights. Then I can see any individual lighting I may need to shut off. This says mute. If you hold it in, it'll say stand by and shut off. Lighting back here is all off. Return back to our control panel. Touch number one. Number one is going to be all of your interior lighting as well, other than this up here. Doors and drawers. I need to run through this real quick, I'm sorry. We did the awnings. Here's our, let's turn your AC on. There's your AC. Shut your AC off, that'll shut off quickly. Now let's make it heat. Oops, let's get back to furnace. Make it heat. We're gonna have to go to set because it's 88 degrees in here. I don't want to turn this on, but I have to show you it working here. There's your furnace. Now I'm gonna shut the furnace off. And you notice that it takes a couple minutes for the furnace fan to shut off. Continuing through, you can pair your device here. There's your tanks again. And here's where you turn on your water devices. Going back to the main control panel, we're going to go down to slide. And I'm going to say doors and drawers. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slides from coming in. You're simply going to hit retract. Now as that retracts, I'm going to show you that WP right here. That's another place that you can turn on your water pump. And if you hit that temperature guide right there, that will take you straight to your AC or heat, to your heating system. Slides in. Hit number 1 to shut off our interior lights. And exit the unit. Now before I close your door up, I just want to show you your remote running your power stabilizing jacks here in the back. And same thing up front. Now you see, sometimes you may have to adjust these speed as they come down. And just run them down. Run them back up. Run it back up. Return your remote inside. One for your stabilizing jacks will be right up here in the cabinet. Now, bringing these steps up, you want to make sure this exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise, this could catch on it. Lift it up. Pull this back and lock that in. Lock and deadbolt your exterior door. Lift and turn your handles. At this point, bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. Unhook our power, our water, and our cable. If we're at a campsite, we're gonna get up underneath there and dump those low point drains. And if we're boondocking, we're gonna come and dump this low point drain. Lastly, for waters, we're gonna come around to your campsite. We're gonna open up your hot water heater again. After our water's been draining for a while, open this back up and lift up on this pressure release valve. That's gonna dump the remaining of the hot water out of your hot water heater just like that. Once that's done, close that handle, that knob, otherwise this door won't close. Then you can pull your low point drain down here. Hook up our hitch and head on up to the dump station. Hook up our hitch, head up out to the dump station and park accordingly. Now your dump is going to be all the way at the rear. You got a 10-foot hose. Park close, hook that up, and pull our black holding tank. That's going to be the handle on your right. It's going to be your sewage. Once it sounds like it's no longer draining, keep that black handle open. Again, with your water pressure regulator, hook up the hose at the dump station. Turn it on for a good 5 minutes. Let that wash out your black tank. After it washes out, go ahead and unhook that. Close your black handle and pull you this first gray handle. Once that's no longer draining, close that and come back here and pull this last gray handle. That's gonna be your sink over on your outdoor kitchen. Once that's done, it's gonna be cleaner water, sinks and showers. That'll clean your sewage hose out for you. And you can sanitarily and conveniently store your sewage hose right in your bumper. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Whitehawk for many years to come. Happy camping.